Have you ever wondered, with just $1,000 a month, is there a place in the world where you could live comfortably, eat well, have your own home, and even have money left over to travel? In the US, that amount might only cover rent for a small apartment or a few medical bills. But out there are countries where $1,000 turns you into someone living in abundance. Morning coffee by the sea, lunch with local specialties for just a few dollars, and evenings watching the sunset right from the balcony of your own apartment. Today, I'm taking you around the world to explore the top 10 most amazing places where you can fully enjoy life with just $1,000 a month. This list has it all. From the sparkling blue Mediterranean beaches, the eternal spring city in South America, to the bustling capitals of Asia. And the number one country will definitely surprise you. Stay until the end of the video. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Because who knows, your new home might just be one plane ticket away. Dream it. Pack it. Go. 10. Georgia, the crossroads of Europe and Asia, with $1,000 a month. An American uncle named Bill, after 30 years of driving trucks across states, decided to retire in Georgia. Europe, not the US Georgia. On his first day in Tbilisi, he happily walked into a supermarket, planning to buy a carton of milk and some bread. But when he looked at the price tags written in Georgian letters twisted like a rock song, he just pointed randomly at something that looked like milk. When he got home and opened it, it turned out to be wine. The result, his very first morning in this retirement paradise, started with a bowl of cereal soaked in red wine, both shocking and funny. But from that moment on, Uncle Bill decided, here, every day is worth trying something new. As for living costs, Georgia is among the easiest countries for Americans to live in with a budget of around $900 per month. Renting a one-bedroom apartment in central Tbilisi ranges from $350 to $500, while in coastal Batumi, it's even cheaper. Utility bills, including electricity, water, and internet, come to just about $60–80, with internet speed ranking among the fastest in the region. Food is also a steal. A filling dinner with local wine costs only $5 to $7, and a proper European-style coffee is less than $1. With this level, a single person can easily maintain a comfortable lifestyle while still having enough left over to travel around the region. Immigration policy is another big plus. U.S. citizens and those from more than 90 other countries can stay up to 1 year without a visa, long enough to try living, find housing, and build community connections before deciding on a long-term commitment. In the past, the government even had its own nomad visa program. Although its current status is unclear, the 12-month open-door policy is already enough to put Georgia far ahead of many other European countries. Georgia also stands out in 3 aspects: cuisine and wine. Khachapuri, kinkali dumplings, and Kakheti red wine have become its trademarks. Natural landscapes. Within just a few hours, you can go from the snow-covered Caucasus Mountains to the sunny Black Sea coast. Expat community. Increasingly large in Tbilisi and Batumi, helping newcomers integrate, make friends, and share experiences. However, rental prices in Tbilisi are rising quickly due to the influx of nomads. So if you choose the city center, it may be difficult to keep the budget under $1,000. Secondly, the language barrier. Apart from the younger generation and those in tourism, most locals speak only Georgian or Russian, which can sometimes be inconvenient for newcomers. In summary, Georgia is a great choice to live comfortably on $1,000 a month. Low cost, easy policies, majestic landscapes, rich cuisine, and a friendly community. And if you happen to mistakenly buy wine instead of milk, like Uncle Bill, you will just realize that here, even small accidents can turn into a memorable experience. 9 to Albania, the Mediterranean coast with a student budget. There was an American couple who had just sold their house in Florida for a price not even enough to cover their medical debt, and they decided to try their luck in Albania. They landed in Tirana and went straight to a sidewalk cafe. When it came time to pay, the husband pulled out a spare $10. The cafe owner looked at it and laughed. "That's enough for a whole week of coffee, keep it," and gave back the change with a pastry. The couple could only look at each other and burst out laughing. Maybe we really have found the right place to start over. In Albania, the average living cost for one person is only about $800,250 a month, much lower than many neighboring countries along the Mediterranean coast. A one-bedroom apartment in Tirana or Saranda can be rented for $250–400 per month. Eating out is extremely cheap. Espresso coffee $0, 50 souvlaki under $2, and a full dinner with salad, grilled fish, and local wine for under $7. Fiber optic internet costs only about $10–12 per month, fast enough for nomads working remotely. As for policy, Albania is an interesting exception. U.S. citizens can stay up to 1 year with just a passport, no visa required, a rare benefit in the region. In addition, the government has introduced a 1-year nomad visa, renewable for up to 5 years, making it easy for freelancers or retirees to settle down long-term. Albania's hard-to-ignore advantages start with its Mediterranean coastline, beautiful but less crowded. The Albanian Riviera, with its crystal-clear waters, reminds many people of Greece or Croatia, but at only a fraction of the cost. The second is coffee culture. On every street corner there are small cafes where locals sit for hours chatting, making it easy for newcomers to integrate. And finally, the hospitality. In a country that has long been overlooked, locals often see your presence as a joy rather than a burden. However, housing prices in coastal hotspots are rising quickly, especially in Saranda or Ksamil during the summer. Secondly, public infrastructure such as transportation and hospitals is still not as consistent as in EU countries, something to keep in mind for those with health issues. Even so, Albania remains one of the rare places where you can sit by the Mediterranean Sea, sip a glass of raki, reflect on your new life, and keep your budget around $1,000. If you think Albania is a potential candidate, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment to let us know if you would choose to live in a student budget paradise like this. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll run into each other at a cafe in Saranda. 8. Bulgaria, the low-cost Balkan paradise. A young American man named Kevin once thought that living in Europe was only for the wealthy. Yet when he arrived in Plovdiv, he managed to rent a neat apartment for just $208 a month. On his first day at the market, Kevin excitedly bought a bag of ripe red tomatoes for only $1.50 per kilo. At home, he video called his mother to show off. "I'm living the European dream, and it costs the same as one grocery trip to Walmart back home." Bulgaria is one of the cheapest countries in the EU, with total living costs for one person around $850–100 per month. Rent for an apartment in Sofia or Plovdiv ranges from $250–400, while in rural areas it's only $150–250. Internet is among the fastest in Europe, costing about $10 per month. In addition, food expenses are truly easy on the wallet. A traditional meal of banitsa with yogurt is just $2–3, and a restaurant dinner is about $6–7. A big advantage is the simple tax policy. Both personal and corporate income tax are at a flat 10%, the lowest in the EU. Furthermore, Bulgaria has joined the EU and is about to complete procedures to enter Schengen, opening the door to free movement across Europe. For foreigners, many long-term residency programs allow a 5-year stay and lead toward citizenship. Bulgaria's standout strength is balance. Living in the capital is still affordable, and living in smaller cities is even easier. It has the Black Sea, Varna, Burgas, ski mountains, Bansko, and historic towns, Veliko Tarnovo. On top of that, the country is very safe, with serious crime rarely occurring. Minor drawbacks. Local wages are quite low, which means public services are not always consistent. In addition, Bulgarian uses the Cyrillic alphabet, which can be a bit hard to swallow for newcomers at first. But once you get used to it, this is a country where you can live cheaply and still enjoy that European label. 7. Peru, where sacred mountains meet blue seas. A retired teacher from California named Linda decided to try living 6 months in Cusco. On her first day, she climbed the steep stone steps to watch the sunset, panting, both tired and amused. Maybe I just got my workout and saved money on a free gym. Afterwards, she enjoyed a pisco sour for only $4, cheaper than a cappuccino in San Francisco, and thought to herself, here, $1,000 a month is clearly paradise. Peru is one of the most affordable countries in South America, with total costs around $1,050 per month for one person. A small apartment in Lima costs $250–400. In Cusco or Arequipa, it's even cheaper, just $200–300. Getting around by city taxi is about $2 to $3 per ride. As for food, it's hard to beat. A fresh ceviche plate for $3 to $4 and a full dinner for under $6. The policy is also attractive for retirees. You only need to show $1,000 of monthly income from abroad to apply for a retirement visa, which grants long-term stay rights. Americans are allowed to stay in Peru up to 183 days with just a passport, enough time to test life before submitting an application. The first thing worth the money in Peru is its cuisine, the best in South America. Ceviche, dozens of potato varieties, purple corn, and pisco cocktails. Second is World Heritage. Machu Picchu, the Nazca Lines, the Sacred Valley, places tourists spend thousands of dollars to visit while you are living nearby. Third is the expat community already established in Cusco and Lima, where costs are low, but services for foreigners are still decent. Of course, there are a few things to keep in mind. Lima is often polluted and congested, while the highlands can cause altitude sickness for newcomers. But in return, Peru is a country where with just $1,000 you can have a home and the chance to live right among wonders that many people only dream of during vacations. If you think Bulgaria or Peru makes you want to grab your backpack right away, then hit like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment to tell us whether you'd choose the cool Black Sea and Balkans or the majestic Andes. Who knows? Your answer might inspire the next video. 6. Philippines. Islands of golden sun and endless smiles. John, a former American engineer, was only used to the cold supermarkets of Chicago. On his first day in Davao, he stopped by a small street food stall and ordered a steaming bowl of noodles for $50. The owner happily added a ripe mango, free for the foreigner's first time. John laughed awkwardly. In the US, getting something free with your order would only happen in a dream. From that day on, he began a new routine. Mornings at the market, afternoons at the beach, evenings watching neighbors sing karaoke, all for less than $30 a week. Living costs in the Philippines are truly easy on the wallet. $850 per month is enough for one person to live comfortably. A one-bedroom apartment in Manila costs about $280–350. In smaller cities, only $200–250. Breakfast is 2 to 3, dinner 4 to 5, even cheaper if you eat at street stalls. Internet is stable at $20–30 per month, and private health insurance for expats usually ranges from $50–100 per month. A big advantage is English. The Philippines is one of the few Asian countries where English is widely spoken, helping new Americans avoid communication barriers. In addition, the government offers retirement visas, SRRV, with relatively soft requirements, allowing retirees to stay long-term. The Philippines is also appealing with its 7,000 islands, where you can choose to live in bustling cities like Manila or Cebu, or move entirely to the quiet island of Palawan. Locals are friendly, love singing, and will easily invite you to join street parties. The downsides? First, infrastructure is uneven, and traffic in Manila is legendary for its congestion. Second, public healthcare services are limited, so expats often rely on private hospitals. But overall, if you're looking for a tropical life that's affordable and full of smiles, the Philippines is the clear answer. 5. Thailand. The land of smiles and unlimited choices. In contrast to John in the Philippines, an American widow named Martha chose Chiang Mai in northern Thailand. On her first day, she was bewildered when she walked into a 7-Eleven and discovered she could buy chicken rice, hot soup, coffee, and even pay her electricity bill, all in one convenience store. She laughed and called her son, "I can live well just by going to 7-Eleven." Thailand is a country where a budget of $901,100 per month can make you live in abundance. Renting a one-bedroom apartment in Chiang Mai costs only $250–400, while Bangkok is more expensive but still within $500–700. Food is incredibly diverse. A meal of pad thai, tom yum soup, or chicken rice costs only $2 to $3. A full dinner with drinks at a local restaurant is just $6 to $2. The advantage of Thailand is the wide range of lifestyle choices. Want to blend into the nomad community? Head to Chiang Mai. Prefer blue seas and yoga? Go to Koh Samui or Phuket. Looking for excitement? Bangkok always has its arms open. Moreover, Thailand is Asia's medical tourism hub, with healthcare costs just a fraction of those in the US, but with international quality. The government also offers retirement visas such as OA or LTR, allowing foreigners to stay long-term if they meet certain income or savings requirements. Internet is fast, Grab rides are cheap, and international flight routes are busy, making travel convenient. The downsides of Thailand are chaotic traffic if you're not used to riding a motorbike, and the language barrier. Only about 1/4 of the population speaks English. But in return, you'll easily find large expat communities ready to help. If you find the tropical island life of the Philippines or the paradise of choices in Thailand appealing, don't hesitate to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share in the comments. Would you choose street karaoke or a steaming hot pad thai? 4. Montenegro. A bay like a painting and a slow-paced life. A group of American friends, after retiring, bought cheap round-trip tickets to Montenegro. They booked an Airbnb overlooking the Bay of Kotor, where steep mountains embrace the emerald blue Adriatic Sea. In the mornings, the group biked along the coast. At noon, they sat in small restaurants eating fresh seafood for just $8 to $10 a plate. In the afternoons, they sipped local wine. They often joked, "Here we spend pocket change, but live like millionaires." Montenegro is one of the rare Eastern European countries where you can maintain expenses at $900–100 per month. Apartments in Podgorica, the quietest capital in Europe, cost only $300–400 per month. If you choose coastal towns like Thailand or Budva, prices are a bit higher, but still within $500–600. Fresh food at local markets is cheap, with $200 a month being plenty. Internet and phone cost about $20, and authentic Italian-style coffee is just $1 a cup. The Montenegrin government is opening its doors to expats and nomads. There are temporary residence permits and a new nomad visa program. What's attractive is that administrative procedures are relatively light, and foreigners can easily rent homes and open bank accounts. The greatest strength here is the Mediterranean pace of life, without the overcrowding of Italy or Croatia. Kotor, Tivat, and Budva still maintain their tranquility while carrying the breath of history through ancient towns and stone walls. Locals are friendly, and most young people speak English. A small limitation: Montenegro is not yet in the EU, so travel rights within the bloc are still restricted. In addition, during the summer tourist season, rental prices in coastal areas can climb. But if you know how to pick the right season, you'll find this is a hidden gem not yet fully discovered. 3. Colombia. The city of eternal spring. This time, imagine not a tourist, but an American musician named Peter, who, after getting tired of expensive New York, moved to Medellin. Every morning he sits at a corner cafe, enjoying a $1 espresso while gazing at the mountains surrounding the city. He writes a new song called Spring Forever, because Medellin is famous for its eternal spring climate. Living costs in Colombia range from $850–$1,100 per month. A one-bedroom apartment in Medellin rents for $400–$500. If you choose Santa Marta or Barranquilla on the coast, the prices are even more affordable. Street food is extremely cheap. A plate of bandeja paisa loaded with meat, rice, beans, and fried plantain costs just $3–$4. Getting around by taxi or Uber in the city is about $2–$3. The Colombian government currently offers many types of long-term visas, from the retirement visa, which requires pension income, to investment or remote work visas. This has made the country an increasingly popular destination for expats. What's best here? First, the mild climate year-round. No need for heating in the winter, no need for air conditioning in the summer. Second, the large nomad and expat community. In Medellin, you can easily find co-working spaces, Spanish classes, or groups of international friends. Third, the diverse landscapes. The Andes Mountains, Caribbean beaches, the Amazon rainforest. Just a few trips away to change your entire living environment. Of course, there are still things to consider. Some areas in Colombia still have security issues, so expats need to choose safe neighborhoods. In addition, English is not widely spoken, so you'll need to learn some basic Spanish phrases. But in return, with the warm smiles of the people and affordable costs, Colombia truly deserves to be spring forever for many Americans seeking a new life. Peaceful Montenegro on the Adriatic coast, or vibrant Colombia with eternal spring? Which do you feel suits you more? Hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share in the comments. Who knows? Your answer might inspire the next video. 2. Mexico, the land of tacos, mariachi, and endless choices. Mexico is not just a travel destination, but has become the second home of more than 1.5 million Americans. From bustling cities like Mexico City to colonial towns like San Miguel de Allende or Caribbean beaches in Playa del Carmen. Each place has its own character, but shares one thing in common: affordable living costs. With about $950–$200 a month, a person can live quite comfortably. A one-bedroom apartment in Guadalajara or Mérida costs around $350–$500, while in tourist hotspots like Tulum or Cabo San Lucas, prices can jump to $800 to $1,000. Food is both abundant and cheap. A taco costs just $1, and a full dinner with beer is about 5 cents. Getting around the city with Uber is $2 to $3 per ride, and internet and phone bills are $30 to $40 per month. Mexico's great advantage is its diversity. From cool highlands to sunny blue seas, from old colonial towns to modern cities, Americans can easily integrate thanks to a large expat community, good infrastructure, and high-quality healthcare at just 1/3 of U.S. costs. The government also offers various types of temporary resident visas, allowing long-term stays if you can prove stable income or bank savings. Another plus is geographic proximity, just a few hours' flight from the U.S., and in fact, many border states only require a drive. Mexican culture also feels familiar to Americans, from food and music to the laid-back lifestyle. That said, there are two things to keep in mind. Some major cities still face security issues, and rental prices are climbing due to the growing number of expats and nomads. 1. Vietnam, the new star of Asian expats. Vietnam has become the #1 destination in the Expat Insider rankings for cost of living and financial satisfaction. Cities like Da Nang, Hoi An, Ho Chi Minh City, and Hanoi not only carry cultural and historical charm, but also welcome foreigners with living costs that surprise many. In total, one person needs only $850 a month to live comfortably. A modern one-bedroom apartment in Da Nang or Hanoi costs $250 to $400, while food is unbelievably cheap. A bowl of picho or bun cha is $2, and iced milk coffee is under $1. Fast and stable internet costs just $10 to $15 per month, and private healthcare is reasonably priced, especially for basic services. Vietnam's greatest strength lies in its diverse and delicious street food, from pho, banh mi, and spring rolls to egg coffee, cheap yet rich in experience. In addition, the country offers diverse natural beauty, Quoc beaches, Ha Long Bay, and the mountains of the Northwest, allowing foreigners to work while enjoying travel. The expat community is also growing, especially in Da Nang and Ho Chi Minh City, making it easy to integrate. The current visa policy is fairly flexible. American visitors can apply for a 90-day multiple-entry visa or combine other forms of long-term stay. Although there is no official retirement program yet, the low costs and friendliness of the people make many expats stay long-term. Small drawbacks? Heavy traffic in major cities can shock newcomers, and English is not widely spoken among the older generation. However, this is often balanced out by the hospitality and openness of the Vietnamese people. So we've just taken a trip around the world, from the crystal-clear coasts of Albania, Montenegro, and the Philippines, to the majestic mountains of Peru, or the vibrant, colorful bustle of Mexico and Vietnam. The common point of all 10 countries today is this: you can absolutely live comfortably, even live in abundance, with just about $1,000 a month, something that in the US or Europe might only exist in dreams. Each place has its own character. Some stand out for their cuisine, others for their natural beauty, and some are appealing because of their open visa policies. The important thing is finding the spot that matches your personality, needs, and dreams. If you found this video useful, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment. Which country would you choose to start a new life with $1,000 a month? Who knows? Your answer might be the idea for the next video. See you again on the next journey of discovery. But for now, dream it, prepare, and maybe pack your bags and go.